Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom too. Oh my gosh, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 11 of our beyou 365-day challenge to do one thing every day that improves us. Today we're going to talk about changing your reaction. Yesterday we talked about your change reaction. How do you automatically respond when you're faced with a change or a challenge? I like to think back to what I was thinking when COVID hit, because COVID is one of those challenges that impacted almost the entire population of the planet simultaneously, right? Or within pretty close proximity of each other. We've all been impacted by it in some way, shape, or form, even if we like to think that we don't. I like to think that I haven't been massively impacted by it, but I, just like everybody else, have. So yesterday we thought about what happens, what do we do when we are experiencing a change? And I did this, and then what I like to do is I like to, for today, when I'm looking at and deciding what my change reaction is, because some things that we do when we're faced with change are positive and in our favor, other things not so much. So I like to make a list of all the things that I do, mostly the negative ones, and then apply a tool called flip switch. Now all of us are familiar with flipping on a switch or turning a light on and off. Watch, let's see if my light works. So I've got a switch on my magnifying glass so I can turn a light on or off to improve my vision, to get a better outcome for me, to get a better reaction. But I have to physically do something. So I want to look at this a little differently this time from how I normally look at it. I'm going to think of the things, and when we're faced with a change or a challenge, we human beings like to think that we're rational beings, but we always react, or we always experience something emotionally first, then we start to think about it, then we apply our beliefs, and then we take action. So as instantaneous and as quickly as that all happens, event, reaction, there's actually a whole lot of steps in between. So we want to influence those steps in between to guarantee that we're going to have the best outcome for us. And over the next few days, we're going to talk about something called the SOAP framework and how we use that to guarantee that we get the best results for us each and every time going forward. And we'll do that every month. I think we'll cover the SOAP framework every month with each area of focus that we're talking about, and we'll spend 4 days on it. We're going to break down the S, the O, the A, and the P, and have a different tool for each day. So at the end of 9 months, we will have at least 36 different tools and ways of applying this framework to our life. So today what we're going to do is we're going to practice this flip switch tool, and it's like taking and turning off a light. And really all I do is ask myself, what would be, or what is another way that I could respond to this besides the way I have physically responded to it in the past? Because our actions are the physical manifestation, right? Or the physical outcome of, or result of, our emotions and our thoughts and our beliefs, and then we react. So, for example, I've already listed out the common reactions that I and other people have over the past. We've done something called the Get Up and Go Challenge since the beginning of COVID. We've done a 30-plus day challenge 10 times in the last year and a half, last 2 years. From April 2020 on, April 2020 was our first 30-plus day Get Up and Go Challenge, and then December of 2021 was our 10th free Get Up and Go Challenge. So part of what we do, and this is my October book where I did this exercise, the flip switch exercise. So list in one side how I normally react, the old way of reacting, and I'll read those off to you just to give you an idea of how to respond. And then I actually wrote, well, what is something else that I could do? What is a new possible thing or action that I could do? And remember, action's physical, right? So that's where the physical comes into each and every one of these. So let me read you my list, and then I'll read you some counter things too. How do we sometimes react to changes and challenges? We resist, we deny, disbelief, ignore, complain. We act like victim or poor me. We get upset or angry. We get negative. We only focus on the negative. We look for a new way, or we look for, not a new way, we look for a way out. We procrastinate. We make excuses. This is all me in most of the cases. We whine, bitch, moan, or complain. We do nothing, or we freeze. We wait it out. We decide we're just going to wait it out and see what happens. We escape into food, drugs, alcohol, cigarettes if you smoke, shopping, TV, gambling, whatever, some kind of an activity to take our mind off of the thing that we're facing. I call all of these the zombie zone, because we're letting things outside us make the decision for us or control us or determine what we're going to do or not do. Now, what are some ways that we could possibly react and respond that might be better than this? So if we're resisting, we could face the facts or open our mind. If we're denying or in disbelief, we could believe. We could choose to believe. If we're denying, we could accept what is. If we're ignoring, we could pay attention, right? We could wake up, open our eyes, and pay attention. If we're complaining, we could compliment. We could find something that's good about the situation. If we're acting like a victim, we can turn that over to, well, how can I win in this situation? How can I be a victor instead of a victim? If we're upset or angry or negative, we can look for calm and peace. We can find ways to be unruffled. We can look for the positive, because there's everything that happens, everything in the world has a positive side, even if it feels super negative. There's always an upside. There's always a positive and negative. We live in a dual universe, so opposites always exist. Look for a way out. We can look for a way to take responsibility. We can look for a way to take action. If we're procrastinating, we can act now. We can take some action now. If we are whining, bitching, or moaning, again, we can find ways to compliment. Whining makes me crazy. We can do nothing. If we're responding to doing nothing, we can do something, some tiny act of moving us toward what we want. If we're looking to escape, we can engage or get involved. If we're watching TV, or we can get involved in problem solving. If we're watching TV, we can take care of ourselves. We can just say no. We can say, no, I'm not going to watch TV. We could go for a walk. Wouldn't go for a walk and thinking be better than zoning out in the television? Drugs, I said, just say no. Alcohol in moderation. Freezing, take an action step. Take some baby step right now. No action, again, take the next step. Sometimes we don't act because we think we have to do everything, but we only just have to take the next step. And then belief, thoughts, and feelings. Let's reach for something that's slightly better. We're going to talk about the emotional guidance system in depth when we go into emotions next month. But know that we don't have to make massive leaps. We don't have to go from hate to love, but we can go from hate to indifference, or hate. I guess the hate is indifference is hate. We can go from, I guess, hate, indifference, etc. We can move our way up to feeling slightly better. So today our challenge is just to look at what we did yesterday and say, what's another possible way of behaving? And we flip the switch on that from usually our natural way of behaving that we consider negative to positive. Questions on this, hit me up. This is a fun exercise, and this is a tool you can use in so many ways you're not going to believe it. Just flipping the switch, meaning look at something from the opposite point of view. Go out, make it an awesome day. Flip that switch whenever you catch yourself being negative or whining or bitching or moaning or complaining, and I will be with you tomorrow to make sure that we're doing some little thing every day to improve us. Have a great day.